Ever heard someone tell you to lay down your bike to avoid a crash, or that loud pipes actually save lives? Sounds smart, doesn't it? Until you realize these rules of the road aren't rules at all. They're myths, and dangerous ones at that. In this video, we're tearing apart 20 motorcycle myths that just don't hold up. But somehow, they keep spreading like gospel. Let's dive straight in, starting with a belief that could cost you everything. Number 20. Throwing your bike down is the best way to crash safely. Many riders still believe this, that in a split-second emergency, you should throw your bike down and let it slide. The theory sounds clever, almost like something out of an old biker tale. Sliding across the pavement somehow spreads out the impact, so you walk away with a few scrapes instead of a shattered leg. However, here's the truth. Straight, brutal, and simple. Sliding means surrendering. You lose every ounce of control. There's no steering, no braking, no chance to dodge anything. You're not riding anymore. You're just a passenger, skidding across the asphalt like a hockey puck. And modern bikes, they're built way better than the ones in those old crash stories. You've got anti-lock brakes, advanced traction systems, and precision balance. So your best move in a panic situation is not to lay it down. Instead, brake hard, stay upright, and aim for an escape route. Even if you can't avoid impact, staying in control lets you choose where you hit. Grass, gravel, a soft shoulder, not a guardrail at 50 miles per hour. Hey you, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. It really helps me make these awesome videos, and you get to be a part of an amazing growing bikers community. Thanks. So the next time someone says, lay it down to save yourself, remember, that's not a strategy, it's a myth that could cost you everything. And speaking of myths, many riders also harbor misconceptions about how they treat their engine, a practice that might be slowly killing it without you even knowing. Number 19. Idle your engine for 10 minutes before riding. You've heard it, haven't you? Let it warm up, they say. 10 minutes, maybe more, especially in the cold. It's an old habit. Some riders still swear by. The idea is that oil needs time to spread, to coat every corner of the engine before you roll out. And it sounds caring, even protective. But here's what really happens. When you let your engine sit there idling, you're just burning gas, slowly, inefficiently. The engine runs rich to keep from stalling, pumping fuel, but not building real heat. Meanwhile, condensation creeps in, moisture mixes with oil, and sludge starts to form. Bearings and cylinder walls suffer, silently. And it gets worse. Carbon deposits start piling up, especially if you're on an older bike with a carburetor. But modern bikes, they're smarter. They're fuel injected, designed to warm up faster, under load. Just 30 seconds of idle, then a gentle ride until the temperature needle climbs. That's all it needs. So no, 10 minutes isn't helping. It's hurting. And from protecting your engine, we now shift our focus to a different kind of protection. One that many riders assume comes from making a lot of noise. Number 18. Louder exhaust pipes keep you safer. Loud pipes save lives. It's a phrase that's echoed through biker bars and back roads for decades, isn't it? The thinking is, yeah, if people hear you coming, they'll stay out of your lane. It feels logical. Sound equals attention, right? But here's the hard truth. Physics doesn't care about biker slogans. Exhaust noise travels backward, not forward. That roar you love so much. It's screaming at the car behind you, not the one about to drift into your lane. Even with fancy baffles or reverse cone setups designed to push sound forward, the loudest parts of your exhaust still scatter in all directions. The people in front of you, they don't hear you. And even if they could, would it matter? Most drivers are sealed in rolling cocoons, windows up, stereo blasting, phone in hand, attention miles away, relying on noise to protect you. It's like shouting in a thunderstorm and hoping the lightning listens. Visibility, positioning, and awareness, that's what saves lives, not decibels. And while noise might not give you an advantage, many riders still misunderstand what truly determines a motorcycle's capabilities, especially when it comes to speed. Number 17. Bigger engine means higher top speed. You see a monster 1800cc cruiser rumble by, and the first thought is, that thing must be fast, right? But here's where the numbers lie. A big engine can mean big power, but it doesn't automatically mean high speed. Speed is a cocktail, not just one ingredient. Power-to-weight ratio, aerodynamics, gearing, tuning, all of it matters. A 600cc sport bike, half the size, half the weight, can leave that big cruiser in the dust. Why? Because it doesn't waste horsepower dragging around extra bulk. Every ounce of torque launches it forward. And with fairings shaped to slice the air clean, it glides faster with less effort. Meanwhile, the cruiser fights wind like a brick on wheels. So don't fall for the bigger equals better myth. It's not the size of the engine, it's what the bike does with it. And speaking of what your bike truly needs, many riders fall prey to another common misconception when it comes to fueling up, believing that spending more always means better performance. Number 16. Premium gas always boosts performance. Riders love to believe in magic fuel. You see that premium label at the pump and it feels like you're giving your bike something extra, more power, cleaner burn, faster response. But here's the truth. That higher octane number, it doesn't mean stronger fuel. It just means it's harder to ignite. Octane measures resistance to knocking, not energy output. If your engine isn't tuned for premium, you're not getting extra horsepower. Your ECU won't suddenly unleash secret turbo settings just because you spent a few bucks more. In fact, premium can sometimes burn slower and actually hurt performance. It's like buying race shoes for a walk around the block. So unless your owner's manual specifically calls for high octane, you're just wasting fuel and money. And speaking of wasted choices, the next one might hit a little too close to home for many experienced riders, as it involves a very common yet dangerous oversight. Number 15. Skipping gear on short trips is fine. It's just a quick ride. That's what we tell ourselves, isn't it? A hoodie, some sneakers, maybe just the helmet, and off we go. But here's what too many riders learn too late. Crashes don't care about distance. In fact, most accidents happen just minutes from home, at slow speeds, on familiar streets, exactly when your guard is down. That thin sweatshirt, it won't save your skin when it hits pavement. That casual mindset, it fades fast when tires lock and time slows. Whether you're flying down the highway or rolling through a parking lot, the gear matters. Every ride, every time. And while protective gear is essential for every ride, maintaining another critical component, your chain, is often neglected with similarly serious consequences. Number 14. Chain oil lasts forever. Your chain is more than just a moving part. It's the artery pumping raw engine power straight to the road. But some riders, they treat chain lube like a once-a-year ritual. Spray it once, forget it ever happened. And that lazy habit, it's a silent killer. Without proper maintenance, your chain grinds itself apart. Rain, dust, road grime, they strip away that thin layer of oil until there's nothing left but metal grinding on metal. It starts with a squeak, then a skip before you know it. Stretched links, uneven wear, or worse, catastrophic failure while you ride. You wouldn't run your engine with no oil, so don't do it to your chain. And speaking of things that protect your bike from damage, what if I told you that letting off the gas could actually save your bike, not break it? Number 13, engine braking will damage your bike. A lot of riders fear engine braking. They think easing off the throttle and downshifting to slow down is somehow bad for the bike. So they grab the brake levers for everything. But the truth is, engine braking isn't harsh. It's smart. When you release the throttle, the plates inside snap shut, creating vacuum pressure, a gentle resistance that naturally slows your bike down. Downshifting just helps match engine speed to wheel speed. No jerks, no jolts, just control. This is the same technique pro racers use entering corners to stay balanced, in rhythm, and to protect their brakes from overheating. Less heat means less fade and less pad wear. So no, engine braking won't damage your bike. It might just save your brakes and your ride. But what comes next? That might save your skin. Involving a common stance many riders adopt at a stop. Number 12, plant both feet at every stop. It looks safe, doesn't it? 2 feet on the ground, bike stopped, balanced. But that stance, it's a rookie move, not a safety strategy. New riders often drop both boots at every light, convinced it prevents a tip over. But once you've stopped, your bike's own geometry, plus a touch of rear brake, keeps it stable. Here's why 1 foot down, 1 foot up is the smarter play. With 1 foot on the peg, you stay ready. If traffic nudges your bar or a gust shifts your balance, you're already braced to recover. And that foot on the peg, it's training you in real time for smoother clutch control, throttle finesse, and brake modulation. That's how riders get buttery roll-offs from stoplights. 2 feet down may feel secure, but 1 foot up builds skill. And speaking of lights, what if I told you that slipping into neutral to save gas doesn't actually save anything? Number 11, shifting to neutral at red light saves fuel. You're sitting at a red light, you click into neutral. Why? Because someone once said, it saves gas. But here's the truth. On modern motorcycles, it makes no difference whether you're in first with the clutch pulled or in neutral. Your engine idles the same way. The throttle's closed. The ECU delivers a whisper of fuel, just enough to keep the engine turning. That tiny clutch drag in gear, it's measured in fractions of a milliliter per minute. Over a year, you wouldn't notice it at the pump, not even once. Shifting to neutral won't hurt, but it won't help your fuel economy either. And what will help? The next myth is all about how you stop, and it could change the way you ride for good. Number 10, always apply front and rear brakes equally. It sounds smart, right? Just squeeze both brakes evenly and stop clean. But real-world physics doesn't care about what sounds smart. When you grab those brakes, your bike's weight shifts hard onto the front tire. And that front brake, it suddenly becomes the hero, doing 70 to 90% of the stopping. That tire digs in, grips the road, takes the load. But lean too much on the rear and you're asking for trouble. Longer stops, locked wheels. And if that back tire suddenly regains traction, you're not just skidding, you're flying, high-siding into pain. Experienced riders know you don't treat your brakes the same. You feel them. You read the road. You press the front lever, firm, confident, while the rear stays light, just enough to steady the ship. Front brakes do the real work. And the next mistake, it's one that can cost you grip before your ride even begins. Number 9, brake in new tires with aggressive riding. You just slapped on some fresh rubber. You're hyped. And maybe someone told you. Don't listen. That's how riders end up sliding across pavement. See, new tires come with a slippery coat of mold release, a chemical sheen that hasn't earned your trust yet. It's slick, it's unforgiving, and it's not your friend in that first corner. So what do? Take it easy. The first 50 to 100 miles. Ride like you're teaching your tires who's boss. But with respect, smooth throttle, gentle brakes, no wild leans. You're not just breaking them in, you're letting the compound cure, letting it breathe, letting it become the tire it's meant to be. Give them time to grip, or they'll give you a hard lesson in friction. And speaking of lessons, what if we told you the next one flips everything you thought you knew about oil changes? Number 8, you must change oil every 3,000 miles. You've heard it your whole life. Change your oil every 3,000 miles or else. But that rule, it's a leftover from a different era when fuel was dirty, engines ran hot, and oil gave up fast. Today, modern synthetics are built tougher, engines run cleaner, and that old school number, it's not set in stone anymore. Most bikes today can push 5,000, even 8,000 miles without flinching. But here's the thing, it depends. Hard track days, short trips in traffic, freezing cold starts. That kind of riding cooks your oil faster. But if you're cruising highways, steady, smooth, controlled, your oil stays healthier longer. Still not sure? You don't have to guess. There's science for this. Send a small sample to a lab. Yeah, really, and they'll break it down. Metal content, oxidation, even moisture levels. If it looks good, stretch your intervals. If it's rough, tighten them up. You thought 3,000 miles was gospel. Number 7. Dark-colored helmets absorb too much heat. Black helmets must be ovens in the sun, right? White's cooler. It has to be. Not exactly. It's not the color doing the cooking. It's the sun blasting through your visor and vents. That's what heats things up. Modern helmets aren't basic plastic shells anymore. They're layered with high-tech materials. They breathe, they wick sweat, they move air across your scalp. Like a mini AC system. Touch a dark shell. It might feel warm, but the heat, it rarely makes it to your skin. What does matter is fit and airflow. Get a lid that hugs your head, no pressure points, no gaps. Adjust those vents. Feel the breeze. Still sweating? It's not the color. It might be time to wash or replace that liner. So sure, black looks hot, but with the right setup, it won't feel it. And coming up every summer to cars, bikes, and your skin, which could just save you from serious heat damage. Number 6. Riding without gloves on warm days is safe. Hot day, blue sky. You hop on the bike and think, do I really need gloves today? They're bulky, your hands get sweaty, and hey, you want a better feel on the levers, right? Wrong. Because even at 15 miles per hour, one tiny slip can leave your palm shredded. Or worse, your fingers fractured. Gloves aren't just armor. They're your skin's last line of defense. A lazy tip over, see, that's torn knuckles and road rash. Lose grip during a slide. Now you're not just falling. You're crashing harder because you couldn't react in time. And it's not just your hands that suffer. A simple fall can snap your brake lever. Suddenly, you're limping home, if you can even ride at all. Modern summer gloves aren't your grandpa's oven mitts. They breathe, they flex, they flow air like mesh sneakers, but still shield your skin. The right pair gives you control, comfort, and confidence, no matter how hot it gets. And now we're moving on to another critical element of your ride. Something that's often mismanaged and silently impacting your handling. Tire pressure. Number 5. You only need one kind of tire pressure. Set it and forget it, right? You check the sidewall, pump it up, done deal. Not so fast. Tire pressure isn't a one-size-fits-all number. It changes with how you ride. Add a passenger, luggage, a top case. That weight pushes down on your rear tire. And now you need 2 to 3 extra PSI to keep the bike balanced. Hitting twisty mountain roads, lower the pressure just a touch for more grip and feel. On the highway, you want firmer tires to cut heat, reduce flex, and boost stability. Even the morning chill can drop your pressure by a couple of pounds. A cheap digital gauge and a mini pump. That's your secret weapon. Check at every fuel stop or break, and you'll feel the difference. Sharper turns, even wear, better grip, rain or shine. And speaking of things you might think you can feel, the next myth will challenge everything you believe about detecting problems with your bike. And it could save you from a hidden disaster. Number 4. You can feel mechanical faults before they become serious. You think you'll feel it. A wobble, a whine, a weird vibration. But by the time your senses notice something's off, it's already too late. Modern parts fail quietly. Chains stretch slowly over hundreds of miles, still looks fine, still feels tight, until suddenly it's skipping teeth or binding hard. Brake pads. They don't scream when they hit their wear limit. They stay quiet until metal grinds metal, and now you're chewing into the rotor. Wheel bearings. They can seize without a whisper, no noise, no warning. Just locked rotation in a wheel that says, nope, mid-corner. Relying on feeling alone, that's gambling. Instead, run a 2-minute pre-ride check. Spin your wheels, feel for play, glance at your chain, check the slack, peek at your brake pads under the caliper, give your spokes a quick tap. It's basic, it's boring, but it's bulletproof. Because guessing costs more than inspecting, and surprises out on the road, they're never the good kind. And now, we turn our attention to the financial side of motorcycling, revealing a common belief that could drain your wallet, while promising false reliability. Number 3, more expensive bikes are always more reliable. Big price tag. Big reliability? Not always. It's easy to think the fancy high-dollar machine in the showroom will be your forever bike. But reliability has nothing to do with MSRP and everything to do with design. Some middleweight bikes with modest price tags run 6,000 miles between oil changes and don't need valve checks for 12,000 miles. Easy maintenance, solid longevity. Meanwhile, that $25,000 exotic sport bike, it might want new valves every 3,000 miles and only drinks $20 a quart synthetic. And that lightweight carbon fiber subframe saves weight, but costs a fortune to replace if cracked. Truth is, a simple air-cooled twin can go 50,000 plus miles with oil, filters, and an occasional valve tweak. So before you buy, look up maintenance schedules, check owner forums, read real-world reliability reports, not just spec sheets, and think about parts availability, dealer support, and how much wrenching you can do. Because the real cost of a bike isn't what you pay at the dealership, it's what you pay after. And speaking of components, next up, number 2 breaks a brake maintenance myth so common, even veteran riders fall for it. Number 2, you must replace all brake components at once. Full brake job, right? New pads, new rotors, fresh fluid, all in one go. Sounds thorough, but it's not always smart. Brake pads wear fast, that's normal. Rotors, not so much. A high-quality rotor can last 20,000 miles, sometimes more, before it shows its age. Unless you've got heat cracks, deep grooves, or it's worn below spec, that rotor is still good to go. Brake fluid? Change it every 1 to 2 years, sure, but it doesn't need to go every time you swap pads. So when your pads are done, don't panic, replace everything. Here's what to do. Inspect the rotor under good light. Is it smooth within spec? Leave it alone. Clean and relube your caliper slides. Bleed fresh fluid if it's time, not just because you're in there. This isn't corner cutting, it's smart maintenance. You'll save cash, skip the hassle, and still get rock-solid braking every time. And finally, for our very last myth. Number 1, you need fresh rain tires for every wet ride. Forecast says 30% rain. Time to slap on the rain tires, right? Not so fast. Yes, full rain tires are magic on wet racetracks. Soft compound, deep grooves, insane grip. But on the street, they wear fast. Overheat on dry pavement, and those deep water channels, they fade quick if you're riding mostly dry miles. Modern all-weather tires are seriously good. Sport touring rubber, dual compounds, silica blends. They grip in the wet, last longer, and handle daily riding with ease. What really matters is this. Check your tread depth. Look at the siping, those tiny cuts in the tread. Still deep, still sharp? You're golden. Ride smart. Ease the throttle, brake gradually, and lean with care when it's slick. Rain tires are for constant wet conditions, long trips, or track use. For everything else, a quality all-weather tire and some finesse go a long way. There is a video coming on the screen right now. Click and watch it. Subscribe to stay engaged with our channel.